Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The issue of chatbots came up, so I would recommend the Chat Act, which we've introduced, that would require adult parental notification and parental permission before a youth would get on a chatbot, and then would restrict adult content and suicidal ideation from those youth, and it would require that of the company. So I would encourage everybody to take a look at that. But I'll go quickly. I heard Dr. Short talk about the Industrial Revolution. Since the time we created heat and turned it into work through the steam engine, we have been increasing productivity and having these discussions about fewer people to do the same thing. Excellent thing to think about. I want to share, though, as we talk about the negative things, I want to share one example of something that I was involved in, a recycling facility that uses AI, optical scan technology, and robotics to process twice to 3 times the amount of recycled material, which actually produces at a rate that makes it marketable in the commercial marketplace. So, and then the workers no longer have to stand with big heavy gloves going through a sorting machine. They troubleshoot. And so it's an example of how technology can actually create a market out of something that we find virtuous in our society and improve the quality of jobs. And that is possible just as much as it is that bad things come from chatbots and things like that. With AI and most technologies, it's either lead or lose. You either fall behind or but we have the obligation to figure out how we do this right. And so I want to talk about, I could ask everybody in this room, how many of you have been trained in AI and have an AI certification? Show of hands. We've won. You have AI certifications? Like three people. Okay. And it's going to be the dominant technology of the future. So we have to upgrade the educational component of this. If you talk to schools, I have a bill, the RAISE Act, which I know some of the members of this committee are on that, to have every state set a standard for what AI should be, how AI should be used in the classroom. I've talked to teachers who've used AI. They love it because now they can monitor the process of every single student and know where each one of them are. How important is it, Mr. Bailey, that we have these standards for our schools in this country?
I think it's incredibly important. It's incredibly important that that's set at the state level so it can reflect state academic standards and expectations for kids and for teachers. Its states are the primary driver of education with professional development, and also it gives the best chance of reflecting community values on that, but that's very important.
Yeah, and right now, we don't have that. Like some states have. So we talked about this as the most important technology, disruptive technology, yet in our education system, we don't even have standards set for how teachers and students should learn. This is an emergency. I hope we act with great haste in this Congress to help the states find a way to do that. Now, technology is supposed to reduce cost, Mr. Altman, in our society, yet every advancement in technology has only made healthcare more expensive. Healthcare is the most inflationary component of our economy. We all are sitting and talking about how we can get healthcare to everyone, yet the costs keep going up and up. How can we use AI technology to drive down the cost, and what do you think the opportunities are there?
Thank you for that question, and you're absolutely right that every time I've ever heard about a technology that's going to make medicine cheaper, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
So we have to tread very carefully about our claims about AI. There is hope, as there always is, but the hope here is that what I would call the back office administrative side of medicine, I think it's fair to say it's a mess in our country. There's many intermediaries going between the patient and the healthcare system. And so there is a hope that AI systems will be able to streamline the administrative, what I as a physician think of as the important, but not in contact with patients, administrative back office. And I think that's an area where we may be able to make progress, but I'm very careful about making claims about that until it's actually demonstrated.
Well, and I'll finish up one point on education. I think AI has the potential to be a very egalitarian technology in the sense that every student, no matter where you're from in the world, you can have a 24/7, 365 tutor, and it's available. How do we make sure that every school, every student is doing this the right way? Mr. Bailey?
Well, again, I think it starts with what you were saying. States should establish the responsible guardrails for how this should be used. It also means we need developers that are making sure we're not just building any type of AI tutor, but AI tutors that are really, again, anchored and grounded on the science of learning, that are anchored on academic standards, and anchored on just the best ways that students learn to help make sure we're maximizing learning and not just getting convenient answers for students.
Is there anyone else that want to weigh in on that one? I know I'm out of time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.